Is it live?
Yep.
Is it live?
Nice. I guess we're not going to have... There it is. All right, we're live. Ooh, we got a big pillow back here, too.
How does it look? It's for your butt. Looks good.
Nope. I got your fucking balls in the shot again.
How many comments today about George's
Do you want me to
beard?
get your balls out of the shot?
Yeah, please. All right, so we are live. Hello, welcome to the show. Lucky for all of you, Chris isn't here today. Just kidding, he's coming, unfortunately.
You ready, George?
Oh, I'm ready. Go
All right,
ahead.
here we go.
I'll start the... Oh, no. Oh, no.
Hi, George.
I'm just going to say right now, Jessica's watching. She's rolling her eyes.
Hi,
That's how-
Jessica.
That's how much this is going to be rolling her eyes. Of
Safety first.
course, yes.
Happy Wednesday the 13th, everybody. I figured I'd dress up as my favorite slasher movie guy. I'm also Polish.
I don't know what that even means.
All right. Well,
I
you know what?
got nothing.
All right. All right.
Oh, shit.
What? What?
I can't wait to see. You better have a Hugh Jackman picture stapled to your face underneath that thing.
No, that's next week's.
All right, let's keep going. Remove the next one.
No, that's all. That's all. Just
Okay, good. It would have been better if you had another fake mustache
Yes.
underneath the thing.
Let's see. Can I keep that? There we go.
If you really need to, you can keep that on. Should we start talking about toys?
Oh, we're going to talk about toys today?
Hi, everybody. I'm George.
Hi, I'm Chris. Welcome to the podcast.
This is not a podcast.
That should be the name of the show. This is not a podcast. All right, what awesomeness are we going to talk about today?
I guess we should start with the giant cage so we can take that off and talk about what's inside of
Yes,
it right now.
I
So
think
let's
so.
move these little guys first. So this is a teaser of what's coming. But let's start with talking about this thing. So do you know, it's kind of hard to see from the level you're supposed to be looking in this at, but if you go to sourcehorseman.com, there's like little blog posts. You can check it out and look up, what's the name of the company that does this?
Crash Box Customs by Mr. Chris Pinkerton.
So it's on there. You can see like the whole making of this set.
Yes.
And what this is if you looked at the Cosmic Legions that are currently on pre-order, plug, while you're at Source Horseman, go to the store. get the
Smash that
pre-order.
order button.
You can get your pre-order in now for another, week and a half, basically?
Yes. Pre-orders end on Sunday. It's Sunday. I just don't know the date. I think it's the 24th.
Or whatever it
But
is,
it's
look it up
Sunday.
yourself. That's
Yeah.
not what we're here to do.
It should be on every listing.
So you can look at the making of this also while you're at the store buying your figures.
By
This was
many
created to showcase the prototypes
Yep.
of the Cosmic Legion figures that are currently out that we're talking about.
Yep.
This Halloween light does not come with your set if you buy these. Can you buy this thing? Can
I
you
believe
buy
so.
these?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure about how the like is it if it's like a pre-order or when they're available they'll
That's right,
be
you weren't
for
wearing lights. Shouldn't have said anything.
They're not hot either. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure because we have them, so we don't have to buy them.
Thank
But
you,
yeah,
by the way.
I would thank you. And he did the previous one. What was it? Alithia. Yeah, when we did Alithia, he did that set also. So we use those, in the promo photography. And I mean, it's insane detail. I love the paint, everything. Lightweight. Also
Easily
to
falls
assemble.
apart.
They're attached by magnets. The other one,
Easily falls apart when picked up.
yes, put it in place and don't touch it.
That's my one note.
Stronger magnets, lots of magnets.
Go to K&J Magnetics and get some new, stronger Earth magnets.
But yeah, I mean the Alithia one I think was more of a single piece. It was more of like just a backdrop, and this is like a whole get up.
When you look at the back, so you know, obviously it's fully detailed on the front of the part you're going to be showing on display. When you look at the back, it's got that, you know, that laser cut burn on
Scoring.
it, which I do. If I had smell, I'm sure that this would probably smell amazing.
Yeah, I'll try.
Tell me if that smells really good, because I love the smell of these things when they're getting cut out.
It smells like wood.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
perfect. Burnt wood.
Yeah.
One thing I would recommend if I had to critique, which isn't what I do a lot online.
Shh, we're not allowed to critique.
And he did a great job. These look amazing. Please don't take this to heart. I know you're an artist. You're probably gonna cry when you hear me say this stuff. Don't. It's meant in good spirits and love. We love you here. Just nuts. Like,
You want to get nuts?
is this the best? Is this the best solution for magnets and nuts? I don't know.
I don't know.
And then maybe make things that like slot together that can like, because you can. I mean, if you're going through all this trouble to invent these cuts and laser cuts and everything, make a system that kind of like slots in and like stays where it's supposed to be. You know, like this. There's nothing that keeps this. I know this is really meant for toy photography or something like that. But if it's on display and somebody bumps your table, this whole thing's gonna crumble.
Like
it's not very strong once it's put together. But
yeah,
it looks amazing when it's all said and done.
yeah,
So,
yeah. I mean,
I'm not taking anything away from his.
yeah, there's a lot of work that went into it. You know what? He's an artist. Artists, you know, we always try and get better, right?
Yeah, so that's just my 2 cents. And what do I know? I don't make these things.
This is cool.
Yeah.
With that plexi, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's got
like a piece of acrylic on there, like with a whole. Is it painted on?
Yeah,
don't
I think
even
it
know.
is because like, yeah, I could feel it
It's
on
not
that
just
side.
tape. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, no, he might have taped it off and painted it,
Yeah, it looks great.
so that's cool. You got the parts glued on.
And this thing was handed off at PowerCon, right? And the guys took it back with them from there. So
Yeah,
I mean,
I think it took him 5 hours to figure out how to put together.
yeah, it took us 3 guys in about an hour and a half to get it on. I'm just kidding. It didn't take that long, but
I personally can't wait to see what he's got planned for. I can't say it.
see, he's always got to tease. He's always got to tease something to let you know he's got more knowledge than what you have at home.
God, I hope I have more. Well, okay, I have more Four Horsemen toy knowledge.
About this stuff.
Yeah.
Of course you do. You work here.
Yeah.
You can let all that go now.
I don't know if I work here, but they let me stay here.
That's true.
Sometimes they pay me.
Well, since they're paying you right now to do this, why don't you tell us what this is?
Is it, oh yeah, you can see. Oh, see, it's perfect. Look at that.
Except for it's small to them, but we can hold.
Oh
it
no,
up.
I know, but you know, everything was in the thing. So as you know, this is the
Switching from cosmic to mythic.
Yes, just like that, on a dime. This would be the paint sample from the factory of
Brovamir.
almost. Change the first letter, and then the rest of the letters. This would be what is the official pronunciation, just to make sure I'm not making a fool of myself.
Oh no, you got to say it first.
Well, I would
Nope.
say Decebulus.
Hank Williams, Esquire the Third.
Johnson Jr. I got the nod that I was wrong.
Decibel.
Decebulus. Who's that? Who's that?
Deciblouse.
He does kind of have a blousey blouse.
Decibelus? Is that what you
This
said?
awesome flowing Decebulus, yes. Or as Cameron says,
Decebulus.
Decebulus.
Which is
I'm-
which?
I'm
if
going with-
Cameron says it, that's
I'm going with Cameron. He's Latvian or something.
Romanian.
Decibelus?
Decebulus. Decebulus. Hey, I got your Decebulus right here.
Either way, he's very loud.
He's very loud. He is.
Cameron or Decibelus?
No, Cameron. Can't you hear him over there? So yeah, so this is a paint sample from the factory. I'd say it's almost 100% complete.
All right, so if someone didn't tune in last week,
Yeah.
the paint sample is.
It's a sample of paint on the figure. I spelled myself.
Secret. You can't tell anybody. Things
So-
like that.
I forgot. We got a recap last week.
Well, somebody might be turning in new who hasn't
We
seen
might
last
have
week.
7 viewers instead of 6.
Or 4, because they watched last week.
So a paint sample would be when the factory makes a pre-production paint sample that would be basically what you're going to see in production, as long as I approve it, which I didn't. So
Now, the paint sample is usually sent on random color underneath. So
Yeah.
sometimes they're, like on this one, if you, well, we'll show it on this one because it's already taken apart. You could see these joints underneath. Those aren't run in the correct color yet. They're just because they're still working on that piece. So things like that, where they're sending it to us saying, look, this isn't production. This is just paint you're looking at here on this one.
But do you remember from last week what's so special about these joints?
Those are new.
They are.
He's got big balls now.
So yeah, paint sample. So I was gonna say, as one of our favorite horsemen, they're all our favorites, would say, you asked for it, you got it. 2 more weeks. Oh no, wait, we don't add that part. We're not doing 2 more weeks, but we as I said last week, we got the new joints on the body that will be tighter. We had a little stick issue, and so sticking issue. So these will be better. These are almost 100% debugged. And then
do they all come with that nice squeak?
They do. Squeak means it's working. The monster mash.
All right. Well, so there you go. Anything on that you want to point out that you're changing that you don't like on it?
Yes. I don't like the fact that he needs a little bit of accent color on his body to match the head. It might be a little hard to see. He does get some nice accent kind of shading just from the shadows themselves, but we're just going to have a little bit extra on there just to kind of make it all blend better. The wiring, which is in here, is a little bit of a smaller gauge, so we need a heavier gauge on that. This way it'll pose better.
Is there no paint shading currently, or is that?
It's hard to tell. It might be very light, because I can't tell if it's shadow or
yeah, because it looks like there is, but it could just be the nice sculpting on there.
Yeah, and if you hold it upside down, then he's gonna pants, skirt. Anyway,
what?
Nothing. No, if you hold it upside down, you can see sometimes with the shade and sculpting. But yes, so gonna have a better gauge on that. This one, as you can see, kind of poses a lot nicer.
Because it's really important to have that blowing skirt action on your Dechabolus.
How can you recreate that Marilyn Monroe scene
without really great posed skirts?
That's right. Skirts brought to you by, do you know who does our soft goods?
C. Jessam.
C. Jessam, that's right. But look at that. I mean, it's really cool because if a lot of photographers, they might be doing some sort of anime running pose. You can have lots of different action.
We don't have a fan. We're just pretending anyway. Blow his skirt up. See, that's what it could look like in your cool photography.
He's covering. He's pulling. You're keeping the front
except
down.
Your shot is from the back that they can't see.
Woo.
There you go. See how cool it would look? When these come out, someone needs to recreate that scene and send us a photo.
Happy birthday,
Mr. President.
Mr. President.
But yeah, I think that's all I'm doing on this one for now. Otherwise, it's almost complete.
So that's good. They got it pretty much on the first shot almost.
Yeah.
Probably 2 rounds, and then that'll be...
Yeah. I mean, if it goes past 2 rounds, it's usually a shock because they're pretty good at getting what we need on there. A lot of times it's the first round, so it's good.
Now, when these are sent originally, do you just send like digital renders of the character? Do you just send a digital picture of
for the color?
To send to the factory?
A lot of times, well, not a lot of times, most of the times, because we do everything. We do hand paint samples, so we'll have Sherry, Cameron, sometimes Bill, sometimes Joe, do hand paint samples, and those are for the factory to match. And so that was getting annoying. And so
it started annoying, just so you know.
And so, yeah, so we do hand paint samples. We have them sent to the factory, and they match them, pretty much, like I said, 95% spot on. We don't do digital because a lot of issues with digital renderings. Our figures are spectacularly detailed, and it would be hard to match all the washes and dry brush effects by digital, partly because everybody has a different monitor, so all colors look different. As we know, Pantones lie sometimes.
I mean, if your book isn't the exact book, yeah, exactly.
So it would just take forever. And there's nothing better than having the actual sample in your hand.
I mean, they have to know like what tiny little dots to paint on there. There's like everything is. I mean, there's a subtle wash or dry brush on that whole piece, and I don't know if that's the proper term or not, but it's on there.
It was at the gauntlet, right?
But yeah, so there's so much detail on this stuff. So sending over the physical paint sample is usually the best way to go
Yeah, I would
for that kind of thing.
I would honestly say I think we probably have the we would call the highest number of deco hits, which is deco would be like, you know, short for decoration, which would be paint application. So every application of paint that you put on there, the base color, the color of all the different parts, every single one of those is a separate color hit. And honestly, I don't think anybody comes close to what we do.
What do they tell you, like how many deco hits this character has?
Nope, I don't even want to know.
I mean, does
It's
it
hundreds.
does
It's
each little
hundreds.
pin count? Each little thing, or is it like that row counts as one?
That's a good question. I honestly am not 100% sure. Because when they're doing at the factory, like, yes, you have those little rivets, and I don't know how well that'll be seen, but people know we have rivets on top of rivets on our stuff, and they're all
Yeah.
painted. So you'll have somebody who is painting the rivets. So they have a whole bunch of gauntlets, and they have a little, like, what do you call it? Another word for a needle. What's the tube for when you get a shot with the needle?
Syringe.
Syringe. Yeah, it's like a syringe.
Thank God, someone else knows what he's talking about.
It's like a syringe, and they have some paint in there. And so the way they do that usually is that syringe just gives a nice little amount of paint, and they just go doot, 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 doot. Next one. Doot, 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 doot.
It's almost like a gerbil water bottle, like that little tip at the
Yes.
end is what's coming out and
Yes,
that's painting it.
almost
Wow.
like that. Yeah. And they have to make that noise. Doot, 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 doot.
Oh yeah, of course I would.
But if they don't make that noise, they're in trouble. But when they do it, okay, this guy has rivets on both sides. You're only going to do one side because then you're going to put it down. If they did the other side, it's still wet.
Smear, right.
So that either that one group of dots
Is
is
one
one hit or each dot, but I think it's that group.
What they can do in that little section.
Yeah. So like this one person does this one thing, that's like one paint hit. This
Wow.
one person, you know, to see them working on it still blows my mind. Oh, and that actually brings me back to something David Karbolka said or asked 2 weeks ago. David
Who's
Karbolka.
David Karbolka?
I know David Karbolka. He asked the question.
All right.
He's
Hey, it's David Karbolka time, everybody.
he's on the Facebook Mythic Legions Cabal group that should all be on. Join, smash, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. But yes, he was asking about why we can't make these in the States. Nobody's going to want to do that work in the States. I don't care. Especially not for, you know, what is being paid. And don't compare what Chinese salary and American salary because the cost of living is different over there.
Right.
But you're not going to find anybody over here that's going to do it. And especially at the level that they do it for.
Maybe
I
David
didn't-
Carbuncle wants to do it.
I don't care what you're paying them. It's not going to be enough to do. It's not going to happen.
No, you can't. There's just you just can't. We have OSHA. They don't have OSHA.
This is true. Yeah,
Look it up. All right, so I think that's enough for today. Remember, go to Source Horseman, go to the store, get your pre-order in for the Cosmic Legions.
That's ending in a week and a half.
It kind of sucks that we started this wonderful new show for you, and we don't have any of the Cosmic Legions here because we sent all of those paint masters we just talked about to the factory so that they can look at that and tell us how much everything costs and all that
Recap.
stuff.
Okay, never mind. I was going to say, why did we send it over to the factory? I was going to see if you were paying attention.
I know why.
Okay.
So they went to the factory so we can get the costing,
Yes.
so we know what it's going to cost to make this line of figures,
Yes.
and get all that stuff ready ahead of time before it all goes.
People should have been at PowerCon. They could have seen them in person.
If you go to Adam Power on YouTube, great look at some of the parts. I just saw them on there.
You can have a literal.
There's an iPhone that was filming a lot of the parts of the Cosmic Legions. You can
Yes.
see them up close and in person.
Yeah, go to Adam Power and smash that like and subscribe button and tell him Four Horsemen sent you.
You'll have a couple of things to show next week.
Oh, heall have a couple of things to show next
No,
week.
we,
apparently.
we,
Oh, we?
we, not
Oh.
Adam Power.
Let's send it to Adam and let him show it next week.
That would be fun.
All right, so you heard it here first. There's a little
All right.
tease for next week's 4 o'clock. What's the show called again? 4 Horsemen o'clock.
Four Horsemen o'clock. It's not a podcast.
So come back next week and we'll show some Cosmic Legion stuff.
What are we showing next week?
We'll find out. I don't even know yet.
I don't know either.
No one knows.
I'm supposed to know these things.
It's a mystery.
Mystery is history.
Oh, jeez. What that is.
All right. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Somebody hit the go button.
Hit that
The
X.
goodbye.